Hey friends! So today, you're asking yourself, maybe, why is my core weak? My guess is that you've tried many things to train your core and you're just wondering why doesn't it get strong? If you're anything like me, I trained my core and even if I took just a few days off, I would notice that it was weak again. And I had no idea why. I was taking all of my own advice as a physical therapist. I'm Stephanie Carter Kelly, yoga physical therapist, and I integrate yoga into everything that I do now. But for years, I trained my core with everything that I knew. I taught other physical therapists how to do core training, but I was missing some really big pieces. Let me give you an idea about the muscular core, the cylinder that really supports the center of our body. From the rib cage down to the pubic bone, the front of the core, the diaphragm is on top of the core, the pelvic floor is on the bottom, and then we have some deep back muscles, and we also have layers of fascia that help really support that center of our body and that vulnerable lumbar spine. I say vulnerable, but it really is pretty resilient when you're doing things the right way. It takes a coordination between all of these muscles in this cylinder in order to create support. What's interesting is it doesn't take nearly as much effort as you might think. So much of this is programmed into the nervous system. It's the nervous system that creates the coordination. As the diaphragm raises and lowers, the pelvic floor also raises and lowers. And as you breathe, those deep abdominal muscles help in the breathing process to create that core support. But here's the thing. If you are living in fight or flight all the time, if your diaphragm is not doing the excursion, the work of going up and down to really descend into the abdominal space and push the belly out, then you're creating a discoordination, an incoordination. So it does take, first, calming the nervous system, getting out of fight or flight, being in the parasympathetic part of the nervous system where everything, all of our internal organs are regulated and calm. Because also if you're in fight or flight, you are asking all of those big muscles, the oblique muscles, the more superficial abdominal muscles, the lumbar spine, superficial back muscles, you're asking all of them to be ready and prepared to go, to run or to punch. And when all of those muscles are active, the diaphragm can't do its excursion, the belly can't expand, it can't signal to the brain then that you're calm and relaxed. And so as long as you're living in that fight or flight, your core does not have a chance. The other thing then that regulates and coordinates the support of your core is your brain. How is it that you are supporting the core of you? Are you standing up for yourself? Are you sometimes saying no because you don't want to do that? Or are you somebody that just says yes all the time and so that you feel stressed and exhausted? That's not supporting you. That's not supporting your core. When you go down to your spirit, when you know yourself into your core, then you know what is the right decision and what is the wrong decision. You know when to create boundaries because you're protecting your core, you're supporting your core. So you really need to get all the way down to your spirit. You need to understand who you are at your core in order to create that support. Because if you don't do that first, then you're always going to stay in fight or flight. You're always in protective mode. And if you're in protective mode, the muscular core does not stand a chance. It doesn't stand a chance to support you. So it's about coordination, not just the muscles, but also of the brain, the nervous system, and your spirit, the core of you. If you're interested in more about training the core as the way to engage that deepest part of you, both from a muscular and from a spiritual perspective, I have an online workshop with pre-recorded videos where I guide you to assess those deep muscles of the core. We're going to assess your nervous system and whether or not this muscular core has a chance to even work. So I would love it if you would join me. If you register, you also get then all of the practices that follow, from the very gentle practices of breathing to more intense practices, engaging and empowering that core along with strengthening. So again, I'm Stephanie Carter Kelly, a physical therapist that uses yoga in everything that I do to expand my practice and give body, mind, and spirit a chance to really heal from pain.